All right. So I'm here with Chad Gailey from Necrot. How's it going?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hey. So thanks for doing the whole Skype thing. I'm just wondering, are you in Oakland right now?
No, I live in San Jose. I've been in San Jose for the past 3 years now.
Oh, really? I have a friend that's from there. I had a very good burrito there once. San Jose.
They got good ones there.
Yeah. It was like one of those combination uh, liquor store lottery place with something else in it. Like. But anyway. Uh, so
That's when you know it's legit.
yeah, it's got to be like three businesses in once at
That's
one.
right.
So I wanted to ask. Oh, by the way, I'm a drummer too.
Sick.
Yeah. So once I heard I was gonna interview you, I was like, okay, cool. To drummer, I feel more relaxed, right? But being a drummer, I wanted to ask you, generally, or at least the way it looks like to me, is that a lot of bands don't have like the drummer do like all the publicity stuff. Uh, how is that like? How did you get into that role with your band?
I mean, nobody else wanted to do it. I mean, I was doing this since we started getting, offers to do interviews and everything. Like nobody wanted to do it, so I mean, somebody has to do it, and so I'm just gonna step up to the plate and make it happen.
Cool, man. That's cool. So, other stuff that I started getting curious about was um, like your other roles in the band. Like, do you help write tunes? Do you write riffs, or what are some of the other roles in the band?
I mean, I definitely help with like the drums aspect. Like Luca usually writes the music, and then he'll bring the song that he wrote to band practice, or like he'll bring it to me, and we'll practice it together. And then once I have everything nailed down, then we'll bring it to Sunny, and then we'll all jam it together until we can all get it down as a unit, and then we have the song pretty much nailed down. So.
Cool. Some other stuff that I wanted to talk about was I noticed that you guys were did some merch stuff, like you put out a skate deck, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's like one of the newest items we just put up for sale.
Yeah, and somebody showed me, I can't find it, but I think it was like a tweet or something that you guys were putting out like postcards, like individual postcards or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, so our label Tank Crime, Scotty, who runs that label, he was like, all right, like 5 months ago, he pretty much put the word out like, if you're interested in the new Necrot album, send me a postcard. Just it doesn't have to be anything special, just a postcard, and then in a couple months you'll get something in return. And nobody knew what it was, and we kept a big secret on it. We didn't want to tell anybody, but everybody who did got one of these flexi postcards, and it has one song on it, and you can play it, you can keep it, you can do whatever you want with it, but it's pretty sick. And a lot of people are bummed that they didn't send the postcard in, or a lot of people were like, "Oh, I didn't know about it," but it's like I don't know how they didn't know about it, because like we were posting about it for like months before he like ultimately had to like cut it off and put the order in. But yeah, it's sick. It's just got the one track Stench of Decay on it.
Oh, okay. Man,
Mm.
that's such a great idea, man. I guess I should start following tank crimes too.
Yeah.
See what they're doing. But yeah, man, that's a great idea, man. That's awesome. So I was going to ask. I was listening to the new record, and I was noticing that you guys were doing some stuff with like odd time signatures. Is that something that you guys were like thinking about adding on to, like to kind of progress the sound, or did that just kind of come out, or how did that come about?
We've always had weird time signatures in all of our stuff. It's just, you have to like really focus and pay attention to hear it. Like a lot of the times, you'll think it's like a 4/4 riff, But if you listen closely or you try to even play it, you're like, I don't even know how they did that. So like
Yeah,
you said, like, you can kind of pick it up on some points, but like most of our songs incorporate the really weird time signature stuff that you have to look for. It's
yeah.
not just like, always there. So it's cool.
So, oh man, because on some of the earlier records, I didn't notice it as much as on the new one. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, I heard it, and it's just neat because it's there. It's enough to like kind of keep you attention, but you can tell the number one like thing about the music is like the riff, the kind of like making it memorable. So I really like how you guys were able to put those two things together. Because sometimes when people start doing proggy stuff with odd times, it kind of gets carried away, and then you kind of don't remember the tune anymore. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
almost like
Too many things going on.
yeah, or it's almost like the odd time itself is there to make you not remember the song.
Hmm.
And so it gets confusing, but like that's the thing that I really like about you guys is that you know the riffs are super memorable. It's still very heavy, fast, but sometimes with death metal, some people kind of make a lot of different changes that kind of just keep going into weird spots. But your stuff is way more thought out, like compositionally. That to me, it's just more memorable how you guys put stuff together. So anyway, I just want to tell you that.
Well,
But
thank you.
yeah, so I was going to ask about. So did you guys start recording this like before the pandemic?
Yeah, we recorded it in January and February of this year, and
Oh,
it
okay.
was finished in like the last week of February or the first week of March. I can't really remember, but yeah, we finished it super quickly.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, like, you guys, I don't know if you've done it before on the other records, but there's a lot more like guitar harmonization, like where you got like double leads or something like that. Is that something that you guys were intending to do live, or how are you gonna like do that stuff? Or
Well, I mean, we try to match everything we can on the record playing live. I mean, that's always the goal. If you can't play it live, then you shouldn't be playing it in the studio. But I mean, Sonny does a pretty good job of like making that happen, where he'll have his setup like a stereo while we play. Instead of just like one full stack, he's got like two half stacks on each side of the stage so that
oh,
everybody can hears it, and then also he has like certain pedals to like kind of switch up stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's mostly like it's all like kind of studio magic with like the double stuff on the guitars. I
yeah.
mean, he'd probably be a better person to talk to about that, just because it's like, man, I'm like so incompetent with guitars. I only know drums, man.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Because there was some stuff that I mean, it doesn't sound like Thin Lizzy, but it's like something Thin Lizzy would do, like those leads where they're harmonizing together.
Hmm.
And when I hear that, it's like, oh fuck yeah, dude! Like I totally love that type of thing. But yeah, I was just wondering if there was like going to be some sort of like because there's like guitar harmonizers and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, man, so I thought that was pretty cool. Listening to the record. So I
I
forgot.
mean, Sonny's influenced by like Thin Lizzy and Judas Priest, and like I'm kind of blanking, but like he used a lot of like like bands that he listens to, and like a lot of the classic death metal bands, and then incorporated that into the sound for Necrot. So it's like, if you can hear Thin Lizzy, then uh he nailed it, what he was trying to go for, I think.
Oh wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get into some Thin Lizzy. Speaking of which, as far as like, how about you? What are your influences?
I mean, I started playing drums like when I was listening to like more punk stuff. So like that's how I learned how to play drums. But then like getting into metal, I think like some of my earliest influences were like Cannibal Corpse or Repulsion, Napalm Death, Terrorizer, Morbid Angel. Like a Bolt Thrower, like no doubt. Um, like they're definitely, I think Bolt Thrower is like one of the main ones, and then maybe like Nihilist and Grave, like kind of like it's kind of all over the death metal spectrum. So
Yeah, yeah. Is there particular drummers in those bands that kind of influence the way you play?
I mean, Pete Sandoval was definitely like a huge influence. Like ever since I heard like World Downfall or Altars of Madness, those are like, damn, I wanted to like play drums like that so bad. And I definitely, like I respect his work his work ethic when it came to writing those albums and stuff. So it's, yeah, I would say Pete Sandoval, and then like Mick Harris, Andy Weil, you know, and some other, other drummers, I'm sure. Just kind of
Yeah,
blanking right now.
yeah. I know that's probably a very drum thing to ask, but since I'm a drummer, I think that a lot of times with certain interviews, you know, they don't ever ask what the drummer is thinking.
No, never.
So that's why I'm kind of thinking that. And then so the other thing that I was thinking about was, since you help out writing tunes, you help out with publicity, you're pretty like strong member of the group, but there's groups where the drummer is just like, oh, that's just the dude that plays the drums, right?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, like, if you had any bands that you can think of where you think of the drummer as being so vital to the band that if they got a different drummer, the band wouldn't be the same.
Damn. I mean, Morbid Angel.
Yeah,
But like, Morbid Angel is such a professional band that it's like, when they got new drummers, they got like the best of the best. So like once Pete Sandoval wasn't in the picture, then it was like they got some other sick drummers, and like, the current drummer they have now is amazing. I mean, we just toured with them last year, like in March, February and March, and like they're just so tight every single night, and you definitely like respect that. So I mean, other bands though, it's like, man, I can't even think of it right now, but I mean, yeah, I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, sometimes like that's also like a very like drum kind of thing to ask, like a drummer, like where we're like, like certain obvious ones would be like Led Zeppelin or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
yeah, but there's certain bands because like I think that sometimes like I was kind of hurt when like Black Sabbath didn't want to have Bill Ward play with them. Like that was kind of like, oh man, that sucks because he pretty much was a super vital part of that sound. uh, so that's when I kind of started thinking about that, and I kind of started thinking about asking people, because sometimes they feel like, oh, you just get any drummer to fill in, but I think like with him, that's kind of like one of those dudes. If he's not playing, it's like, I guess it's still Black Sabbath, right? But
No, I think what the whole thing is, it's like you gotta mesh well with everybody. Like when you create a band, like you kind of create this dynamic of like, this is who this band is, and when you take any member from that unit and replace it, it's always going to be different no matter what instrument it is. So it's like it could be like that for every band. But I mean, yeah, with like Black Sabbath, that was like a huge controversy when they were getting back and they didn't want Bill Ward in it. And like, you could see people like, I don't care. It's still Black Sabbath. I'm still going to see it. I'm going to rock out. And then there's other people, it's like, no, it's not the same. So it's like, it's very controversial when like there's always that split or like that decision when you know, it comes to original members and reformation and stuff. So like, I don't know, like if it was me, like, I mean, this is kind of how it's been with every band that I'm in. It's like if it's not the same unit that it started as, it's like I don't want to keep going, or it's like, you know, there's always stuff you can move on to. You know, you can always start fresh. Like,
Yeah.
why try to like beat it, you know, to death? I mean, there's so many bands doing that just because they have the name and they want to keep it going because they've got the legacy or something. But I don't know. It's like just start a new band.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that, man. It's just like if you know you can write or if you know you can keep going, there's no point in like, you know, using the old name or whatever. Um, so, you know, I've been asking, you know, when I interview people, you know, the pandemic is affecting everybody. It's affecting how, you know, we're thinking about music. So I wanted to see, because, you know, nobody's really touring right now. What do you guys, what are some alternatives you guys have thought of doing besides touring?
I mean, we're just kind of hanging out right now. We're not planning on doing like any live streaming until like it becomes like a necessity. Like this is the only way you're gonna be able to play music now is if it's a live stream sort of deal. It's like we want to like show all the new stuff in a live setting, not, you know, not broadcasted over the internet, because it's like, you know, it's only like, you know, half of what we can offer. Like there's so much energy that you lose from just watching a screen, watching a band play through a screen. It's like, no, you want to be there, you want to be in the moment and like see the band and feel everybody like connected on that level. So I mean, for right now, we're just trying to promote the album as much as possible, and you know, everybody's just kind of sitting tight, hoping that the pandemic ends soon, and maybe shows will happen in the next year or so. But I'm
Yeah.
not holding my breath.
Yeah. There's always New Zealand.
Right?
There's certain countries that are like totally, they're like, oh yeah, like Japan, I think. They're like, I think they're fine. I don't think they're doing anything like how they're doing out there. I did hear somebody say that they were gonna uh, that they booked some sort of a festival in Europe, because but the problem is that Europe doesn't want Americans to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Most of those countries don't want us over there right now.
yeah, so yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I totally agree with you that it's, I mean, there's a certain like you kind of want to like at least have like a celebration, like, oh man, that's their new record, to like a celebration to hear the music, but it can't compare to being at the show, like when it's fucking hot and sweaty and you've been waiting, like you saw three bands just so you could watch you guys, you know what I mean? That's when it's like it totally feels different, that you can't get that experience from sitting at home with in your PJs, you know.
It's like whatever. It's like anybody could do that, you know. Just
Yeah.
sitting at home, and, you know, turn on the TV. You got Necrot right there. It's just like, it's like, I don't know. We want to just play these songs live because it's, you know, they sound sicker live than they do, you know, just through your headphones or watching it or something. So
Yeah. So I was just going to ask one more question. This is more drum nerdy stuff, but so I really love your ride cymbal. Uh, so I was wondering, what are you playing?
for this last record, I think I used a double A Sabian.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Yeah, I think I used a double A Sabian. And I think I used it on the last one. I'm not really sure. Like on Blood Offerings, I was doing a lot more like bell stuff, like on the ride. But
Hmm.
this one I've kind of toned it down because like, man, like that bell gets like it gets kind of crazy after a while. It gets on people's nerves. So I kind of scaled it back a little. But I'm pretty sure on this one I used a double A Sabian series. And then
Oh,
and then the rides. or not the ride, but the crashes. I used two 20-inch double AX Sabians. I used I think it was like maybe a 16 double AX, and then a double AX China. I like Sabian the best. I feel like they have like the best sound, and I mean I like other cymbals too, but like I think I've always like I started with Sabian, so I kind of like I go with what I know sort of deal
Yeah.
because like man, cymbals are expensive. I can't be experimenting.
Yeah.
That's like $300
Yeah.
just to play
So
around.
I'm not a huge Sabian fan, but the Sabian I have. Let me show you.
All right.
You've seen these before, right? The Roctagon.
Oh, dang, that's sick. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah. So I remember when I first started playing drums, they these came out, right, and it was just this weird thing where there were octagon shaped cymbals. Uh, but so far I've got an 18 and a 16. This one's the 16, but
Yeah,
I want to get like a 20 just because they're so weird looking. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
just to have them. Uh, but anyway, that I'm sure that's pretty nerdy for a lot of people. But the other thing, I think I saw somewhere that was saying that you're using like a Rockstar kit. I don't. Are you still using that?
yeah. I use like on the like I think like in 2016 and 17 I was using a Rockstar from the 90s. It was
Yeah.
like super super old, but like the spurs were falling apart, and so I had to upgrade, and I got a 2000s Tama Rockstar, and it's got two kicks. That's like two 22s, and then I have a 10, 12, 13, and a 14 Tom racks, and then I have a 16 floor, and then I think I have even like an 18-inch floor tom, but I like never use it because
Yeah.
it's like I'm not playing like doomy shit.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
maybe later,
Yeah.
um,
So
yeah.
like when you record all the fast stuff, do you use two bass drums? You don't use like a double pedal?
No, I use two separate kicks and all the racks because that's like the kit that I play at home. When we play locally, I bring the big kit because we only have like a 10-minute drive usually from our practice space to any venue in Oakland. So I like to bring the big cannons out. But like when we're on tour, I'll just bring like one kick, two racks, one floor, like a stripped down version, just because it's way easier to assemble and like break down every night.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think I saw on one video that you were using that smaller kit.
Hmm.
I was wondering about that, but yeah, I was just wondering because like I think that some sound guys they're kind of like, oh man, I don't want to mic two bass drums. Can you just bring a double pedal and
Uh, they never do, and you kind of like have to tell them in advance, like, "Hey, I'm bringing both kicks tonight," and they'll be like, "Ah." They got to scramble to find a new mic and everything. Like,
yeah,
it's funny.
yeah. Oh man, the joys of being a metal drummer.
uh,
Uh, man, yeah, man. It was great talking to you, man. I hope to see you guys. I'm here in Austin, uh, or hopefully, maybe there's some other kind of way you guys do a live performance, and I would love to see you guys play, man.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be back in Austin sooner than later. I mean, we play Texas, I mean, every time we go on tour now. So
Yeah, and I'll keep an eye out, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.
awesome, man.
It was nice talking to you, man.
Yeah, thanks again for doing the interview. It was
Yeah, man.
sick.
I'll see you.
All
Bye.
right, thanks again. See you.